Insecurity in Nigeria. Before the 2000s, Nigeria faced smaller scale violent movements rather than organized terrorism as we understand it today. Although often plagued with ethnic and religious violence, which has spanned for more than 50 years now, state terrorism was relatively new and became consistent only starting in the late 2000s by the popular terrorist group known as Boko Haram. What started off as small attacks on social gatherings and security structures like police stations and military hubs escalated into a nationwide terrorism. In February 2011, the terrorist group, which was formed by a certain Mohammed Yusuf, orchestrated its first suicide bombings at the United Nations headquarters in Abuja, Nigeria. The attack was carried out by two female suicide bombers, killing 23 people and injured 60 others. According to credible data source DUTV, over the past 16 years, there have been over 2,000 incidents linked to Boko Haram, averaging 150 per year. This terrorist organization has caused over 15,000 documented deaths in Nigeria. Along the line in 2015, Boko Haram broke into factions, with a side assuming a new leadership in the name of Abubakar Shekau. The other faction pledged allegiance to a more global terrorist group, ISIS, and created a new terrorist group called the Islamic State West African Province, ISWAP. Ever since then, terrorist activities have further expanded into many states in Nigeria, with the northern region being the most affected. Insecurity in Nigeria increased due to desperation towards country's power and resources by some political leaders. The incessant attacks by these terrorists seem well coordinated based on intelligence gained from informants. Also, these terrorist groups get hold of weapons and ammunition far superior than the Nigerian armed forces. So the question over the years remains: who funds these terrorist organizations? The late General Sani Abacha made a famous quote. He said, "If an insurgency lasts more than 24 hours in a country, the government knows about it." Abacha may not be in the good books of Nigerians, but those words have never been any truer. It's been 14 years since the first terrorist explosion in Nigeria, and ever since then, terrorist groups have thrived and captured many states in Nigeria due to little or no significant engagement from the military. It is also important to note that some of our leaders in government are terrorist sympathizers. We have known figures, both political and religious leaders, making remarks that absolves these terrorists from their actions and encourage that a country with one of the biggest military operations in Africa concede to terrorist demands. What happened to that honorable code that a country should never negotiate with terrorists? Terrorism in Nigeria has lingered for so long now, but whether or not it has now become a religious cleansing is a thing up for debate. Recently, the US designated Nigeria to be a country of particular concern, citing religious attacks. This concern was as a result of data obtained from their intelligence of deliberate attacks on mostly Christians living in the northern part of Nigeria. Note, since these terrorist operations started, both Christians and Muslims have been killed. But the last decade has seen these terrorist groups target Christian settlements in the north, with Nigerians having to wake up every day to the news of Christian villages being attacked and people killed. A great example to emphasize on the subject is a state in Nigeria called Kaduna. Kaduna is a state that both harbors Christians and Muslims. We have the northern Kaduna dominated by Muslim indigenes and southern Kaduna dominated by Christian indigenes. But between 2015 to 2023, under the Buhari's administration, Kaduna state became inhabitable to the Christians living in that state. News of attacks on Christian villages in this state became one too many that it became clear that these people were being targeted by these terrorist groups due to their faith. because these groups barely attacked the Muslim-dominated areas in that state. Nigerians cried out to these injustices done to innocent civilians who fear for their lives when night falls. The state governor at that time acted suspiciously weak on the matter and only gave Nigerians a ceremonial appearance and a verbal assurance on handling the situation. For many years, the Christians in Kaduna State and other states like Taraba, Benue, Zamfara, Adamawa experienced the same fate. In the defense of this current government, they inherited a problem from previous administrations who didn't deliver the fatal blow on terrorism in Nigeria. However, based on the promises made by this administration to protect lives of all Nigerians in their campaign, we feel disappointed again that we may never have a government that would end terrorism in Nigeria. Terrorism has further spurred into other operations like banditry and kidnapping, which is dominated knowing how unchecked and how unaccountable it is to prosecute criminals in Nigeria. Terrorism gave birth to these other forms of crimes because of the opportunity. Nigeria has now become a safe haven for criminals to thrive in their evil endeavors due to how lucrative it has become in the country. Terrorist operations, including banditry and kidnapping, became a lucrative business, and we know wherever crime is unchecked and uncrushed, such place will soon be overwhelmed with new recruits, which is now the case in Nigeria. Insecurity is a collective problem in Nigeria, and we need to stop politicizing the lives of many who live in fear each day of being attacked. The solution to this problem should start from the legislative chambers. The Senate needs to pass a law of death sentence on any terrorists, bandits, and kidnappers found in the country. This sends a clear message to these evil miscreants that going forward, Nigeria will be inhabitable for them. Secondly, every local government in Nigeria should have a night patrol team. This security agency will ensure that people can feel safe both in the day and at night when these armed men attack. The security of all Nigerians is one of the primary responsibilities of this government, and they must ensure that we are safe by tasking all security agencies to clamp down on whomever that has contributed in the insecurity of this nation, and that involves going after these terrorist sponsors. Thank you.